Hi guys, hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's me, Ogechi. Welcome. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Talkinsen. It's me, Ogechi. Welcome. If you're new to my channel or you've been subscribed at the time I have not uploaded a video, just know that the channel that you are watching is called Talkinsen, and in this channel I talk about social issues as well as religious issues. I do some cooking videos at times. However, I've decided to kind of make some changes to my channel where I've allocated cooking video to a particular channel, and that channel is called Cookingbasics. So I'll put all the descriptions of links and other social media platforms that I am on in the description below. So if you wish to subscribe to that cooking channel where you can get to see just cooking, if it's that is the reason why you subscribe to my channel, if that is the reason why you subscribe to my channel, then that would be your best place to see more cooking videos, as I'm just doing anything food related on the Cookingbasics channel. I also will be just taking some things like makeup and things in another channel which I call Dailyliving for the Not So Rich, where I show you affordable things that you can get in life, or affordable ways of living. Okay, so for this channel though, I just simply focus on speaking on my opinions or reflecting on things that bothers me, be it social issues, be it religious issues. So that's the key things I am actually focusing on this channel. So that is kind of the little changes that are happening on my channel. If you're an OG subscriber, of mine, so and I speak from different ranges. I speak from a Nigerian perspective, I speak from a universal perspective, I speak from Ogechi's perspective. So anyways, let's get to today's video. So today's video has been something I have recorded, but the video never came out clear. So I'm redoing it again. Please don't think I'm not uploading because I have not been recording. I have been recording, but most of the time when I finish the video, it just doesn't come out clear. It just gets so annoying and frustrating. I've recorded at least 3 videos or 4 videos so far. It just doesn't come out clear. So I'm hoping this one comes out clear and precise. Okay, so let's get to the video. Let's talk about in church hypocrites you should avoid, and most importantly focusing on tithing, because giving financial aid to church has become in today's society a burden, even though we are richer than our previous generations. And sometimes I reflect on these things. I'm like, why has it become a burden on some people? And honestly, I just came to an understanding that people are being discouraged from giving financial aid to the church, to build the church itself. And most of this discouragement comes from social media and people I call the biggest church hypocrites in life, or Christian hypocrites to say, because I am speaking from a Christian perspective. So I really advise that you do not get swayed by these church hypocrites who tell you tithing is not necessary, who tell you that you should not be giving money to your church, be it a pastor, be it a what's it called? Like, be it Pentecostal, be it Catholicism, I don't really care. So here is one of the reasons what prompted me to do this video. Years ago, when I was building my faith a little bit more in the church and in God, to be precise, when I mean more in the church, that means actually following the practices that you're taught to do, the doctrines. And then when I mean relationship by God, I'm actually thinking how those practices draw me closer to God. So one of those things that I came across, this is mostly from TV, was about tithing, or T-I-T-H. That's the type of tithe. I think that's how it's spelled. Anyways, in the Bible, it's actually kind of commanded for us to do as Christians. And the purpose of this is to help build the church, not individuals necessarily. Everyone in the leadership of religion has their own offerings, and the purpose of tithing is actually for you to bring it to God. And the whole idea of bringing it to God, you're bringing it to the people of God, and that is shared and actually used to build the church as a physical building, the church as the humans in the church as its financial aids, and any other aspects that is required. Okay, so this is what I came to understand what tithing is actually for. It took me a long time to actually start practicing this. One, because I wasn't really earning much money. Two, maybe I wasn't even working. And the third one was the confusion around it, because there are so many thoughts and opinions in this area. So I decided to do my own research. One, by praying. Two, by actually finding ways I can contribute financially to the church, because the church that I go to is in great need of financial debt, and they are in debt, D-E-B-T. They are in debt. Anyways, so they are in debt. Listen, just know the word I'm trying to use. They are in financial aid. Okay, so, and I said to myself, okay, how can I actually help? I couldn't help financially, so there were other ways that I could help. One, I started supporting in the church bazaar, getting the young people that I work with in the church to support in the church bazaar, selling things, bringing things from other people and selling it in our church bazaar or harvest. And that generated a little bit of money for the church, because everything went towards, at that meantime, our church is doing roof building to rebuild its roof, so everything went through into that. So that is actually, in this case, supporting a church project rather than tithing. So I'm just telling you this to know the differences, and to also know the means that you that can lead you to start giving to the church or to God through your own hard work and other means. There are different means, not just tithing. So since I couldn't tithe, I was doing all those things and helping out where I can financially to help the church in its financial aids. So fundraising and all those things. So that's one way I was doing my own bit. So as I started working a little bit, I wouldn't say I wasn't working at all, but the work I was doing wasn't consistent. It was agency. So you don't know when you are going to eat and when you're not going to eat. But one thing I always try to make sure that I do was to give my offering, weekly offering, which is on a Sunday, because I go to church on Sundays. There are other masses during the weekdays, but I usually go to church on Sundays. And during the weekdays, if I remember correctly, they don't really do church offerings. So it's only on Sundays that those weekly offerings are collected, unless there are special occasions. So that's how I began my journey into supporting the church in its financial aids. And then I joined our church council, and this really gave me an eye-opening on the great financial need of the church. Guys, the church, I think what we see in the church is just the building. Oh, it's dripping in gold, it's dripping in this, but you actually do not realize that many people that sacrificed for you to be in that church, for that church to build. For example, I am a Roman Catholic, and most churches I've actually come to know their histories were actually built on people who gave up their wealth to follow God, in regards to maybe even the priest. I know from my mom's church, the priest was the one actually funding the church, to an extent that he was so broke, he was taking from his pension and all those things. It was only when he left that the church recognized what has been happening, because they are in such a great debt that it was about to collapse. So it came to that point where I was like, okay, you can't be sitting back. So I started praying for God to open up doors of means so that I'm able to earn and also give more. And this began my financial offering in church based on tithing. So the first time I tithed, I put it in an envelope, and then I gave it to one of the people that work for the church and told him that it's for the church tithe. And he told me, oh, we don't collect tithe, it's not called tithe in the church, but it's called something else. But basically it does the same thing the tithe does. So I was like, oh well, I don't care, I'm calling it a tithe because that is the word I choose to use, and that is the word that is used in the Bible for the gift I from my own heart is given. So I started putting it, like my tithing, in a separate envelope when I get paid, and or when I have the money, so that I do not use it, and I make sure I write it, and my mind knows that you don't touch that money. And then also kept some money aside for my weekly offerings for Sundays. So that is what began my church tithing. As this thing continued, I wasn't doing it every month because some months I could barely have any, so I just keep to my weekly offering, which in most cases is what I've never missed. And then I just, when I have enough money, I then put together whatever it could be to put it as my church tithing. So that is how I began my tithing journey. And since then, I have noticed so much difference in my approach to the church in general. One is to understand the financial need of the church and know that it is never enough, anything that you put to build the house of God. It is never going to be enough, but what it will be good enough to do whatever project that is being made. If, like I mentioned, the church roof, things can be actually allocated to things that the church is working towards. Does that make sense? And it is always needed. It's never enough, because the church I go to is a very, very, very big church, in that it is not just of one body. It actually is a part of a bigger organization, the Catholic Church. Yeah, so that is what began my church journey, and since then I've been more happier doing that, because I know, okay, I'm contributing in this means, but that did not stop me from also helping the church in other things that I could do financially, and to help it grow or come out of the debt that we are in. So that is what I would definitely tell you is my way, the way I started my tithing money. In another video, I will tell you how I tithe, how you could tithe to meet your means, okay? How you could tithe so that you're not feeling broke. You shouldn't be feeling broke, actually. I come to discover that most of the time, if you still feel broke when you're tithing, it's mostly to do with your lack of financial planning. You actually don't have good money management. It's nothing really to do with the tithing you're giving. That is what I came to understand. And most of all, it's also to do with the amount of income you're earning. So it really has nothing to do with the church. If you find yourself in great financial need, unless you do not know how to budget, financial management is required in anything. And that's why God gave different forms of offering to help you know what is what. And just in case you didn't know about tithing, and this is not told by anyone else, is that for you to tithe, doesn't have to be every monthly thing. It's actually a yearly thing. No one actually tells people that. It is a yearly thing. Put all your yearly income together, take 10% out of that, and then if you want to break that 10% into a monthly, then it's up to you. In another video, I'll show you how you could break down your tithing together to make it work for you. Now, with all that aside, one of the reasons why I say avoid these church hypocrites is these are people that are called workers of iniquities in the church, who discourage others from giving financially to a church. Okay, these people are people who will tell you not to give to the church or give to your pastor or give to anyone. I mean, they always like to use the pastor as their scapegoat, but when you're giving, you should be giving to the church, not to the pastor. That should be your mentality, giving to God or to the church. So why I call them workers of iniquities is that what they are doing is actually stealing from God and helping you also to steal from God. Because even in the book of Hebrew, if I'm quite correct, St. Paul says something about that.